As a child, we all long for a hero. As a society as a whole, we search for that leader that can be our hero. But as we mature and as we grow, it dawned on us that the hero is inside every one of us. And in the world's social media, we all start at 0. And slowly we search deep within ourselves to find who we are. And we have that moment of truth where we embrace that the hero that we've been searching for has been there all along. It is living deep inside of every one of us. And we start embracing that journey and we become that hero that we search for.
Hey everybody across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and I believe Twitter as well. This is Jen. I'll be your host today here on episode 11 of Zero to Hero, and I have live with me right now my good friend, DeJesus. I meant Timothy DeJesus. No, I'm just joking. And Timothy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us just a quick thing about yourself.
All right. Well, hello, everybody on Facebook and everywhere else we're broadcasting. I'm Timothy DeJesus. I'm the author of The Business of Time. I do DJ. I have my own company, CEO. I'm the CEO of Dealer Masters LLC as well, which is automotive training and consulting company. So I got my hat in a lot of rings, but, you know, I kind of have a day job, a night job, and the author thing you only do, you know, a couple times throughout your lifetime. So here I am.
Awesome. Well, that kind of like leads us into the next question, but I definitely want to let everybody know how that we got to know each other, and it has been such a fun journey. Kevin and I actually met you through LinkedIn and being involved. You're a co-founder along with us of BUP, Bottoms Up Perspective. And so you're on a lot of live shows already every week, and that's kind of how we got to know you and mesh together on LinkedIn.
Yeah, no, I actually, it's funny because I had saw, I think it was on Kevin's feed. I had saw the advertisement for Bottoms Up, and I was like, man, that sounds like a really interesting concept. And I didn't think that Kevin and Aldrich and Jeremy would ever invite me. I just was like, hey, this is great. I think you guys are awesome for doing this. And they were like, would you like to be a part of the show? I was like, sure, I'd love to be a part of the show. I think it's a great concept. You know, real people talking about real life topics. What's better than that?
We love having you on there, and I'm so glad that they invited you because it really gives all the different perspectives. You know, we have the East meets West, and Kevin kind of fits within the middle of the East meets West mentality of trending topics across the world, and then you help with one side of that, whereas Jeremy and Aldrich are doing the other side. And so I love being a part of it every chance that I get. And I definitely wanted to mention that because that's how we met. And it has been a really fun journey to get to know you. So we're going to go a little bit deeper in this. So in a couple sentences, give me an elevator pitch, Tim, about you. So a little more in depth, not just what you do, but who you are.
Sure. Well, about me, I would say that, I strive to really just be myself. And what I like to have people see when they see me on social media is that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to every now and again have something go wrong in your life. That's okay. That's life. And I want people to see, like, who cares if you're a DJ and a CEO? Like, that's cool. It is what it is. Like, it's okay to be two things at once. You don't have to just be one thing in life anymore. And I think, the world is so wide open that you don't have to just be fit in a box. And I think that's something that people still struggle with, is that they feel that they have to be just one thing, or they have to, fit people's perception. You don't, if you are able to create a personal brand and generate a following and actually, have people buy into you, you could just be yourself. You don't have to necessarily play by everybody else's rules. So, that's something that I really strive to empower people to do, is just be themselves on a day-to-day basis.
And we definitely know and love that about you. I'm sure a lot of people here on LinkedIn know that every Friday, Timothy actually does take special song requests and does a DJ session. And so I love when it pops up on my feed. I might be cooking breakfast and I'm like, oh, yo, 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 there's DJ. Hey, sis. You always have your big white teddy bear sitting there beside you. And I just think that everybody's gotten to know that about you. And it helps everybody else to just relax, because I saw a post actually today and it said, professionalism doesn't have to be stuffy.
Yes.
You still are original. You're still you. You're still a human. You don't have to put on a front and act like that you can still be professional and have fun. And I know that that's something that you definitely exemplify. And I love about you. In fact, I was writing you earlier. I was like, oh, I forgot to have you DJ a song on the show. I wish I had have asked you ahead of time, just to end that show. And I just want to shout out here. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Of course, I appreciate your support. And thank you, Nick and Sergio. It's awesome to have you guys here with us today. Thank you so much.
What's up, guys? Nick, Sergio.
Yeah. Join the party. Join the party. So, okay, so Timothy, everybody, so this is why the show is called Zero to Hero, is because everybody starts at zero, whether in life, in business, or on social media. So please tell us about your personal social media journey. When did that start, and how did you get to this point today?
So I actually started in 2020. I'm probably, of many people, I'm one of the latest to the party when it came to social media. I didn't have a Facebook before 2020. I didn't have an Instagram, nothing. Uh, and now I'm on every social media channel. So it's quite a change up over the course of 10 months. But I started to realize, like, I looked at people like Elon Musk and other people like that, and started to realize, like, okay, they're smart, they have great
Mhm.
ideas, but they were able to actually, like, get these ideas out there through social media. It wasn't just, hey, Elon Musk is really smart and everything's going to change because he's really smart. No, it's because his Twitter presence is so large that people pay attention to him. And so I kind of looked at that and said, all right, there's something to the social media thing. I can't just sit on the sidelines. And so I really dove in head first at that point.
Right. Well, I mean, that does make sense. And especially even with the media, he had a lot of media coverage as he continues to grow into China and different parts of the world. I've actually been really impressed with, of course, I don't know him personally, but really impressed with the marketing that he's done and the coverage, and where Tesla is today. So that is definitely a great person to mention. So I can say from personal experience that in this 10 months, like, I never would have known you've only been on here 10 months, because you have rocked LinkedIn. I mean, to me, you have been a part of like our journey, and a part of like connecting us with others and us connecting you with others, and then the bottoms up perspective. I feel like that you've just like blown up. Everybody loves your Friday DJ stuff. So,
Yeah.
so I never would have thought only 10 months ago that you had just gotten on here. So that's amazing.
I actually have to give credit to Amy Quick. Shout out Amy Quick, because she was the one who said you should do the DJ sessions on LinkedIn. She was like, I think people would love it. So I will definitely give her credit on that one. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, what I figured out pretty early on in the process was, if you're yourself and you have
Mhm.
something to say,
Yes.
people will pay attention. And I think, like you said in the beginning of the show, being yourself is the differentiator between me and everybody else. So I just tried
Exactly.
to put my own little spin and flair on things. And I also wanted, again, to just have a personalized message on LinkedIn and not just be posting the same stuff everybody else posts, because listen, we all end up posting about the same topics in one way or another. There's hundreds of thousands and millions of posts at this point on LinkedIn. You're going to cross with other people when you're posting content. But if you have your own version of it and, you know, your personal experience of the content you're putting, then it is a differentiating factor.
100% agree. I think, I don't know if this statistic is 100% accurate, but the last I saw is there's at least, is it 4 million, 4 million, 4 billion users on LinkedIn? I can't remember the exact number, but
We just
this
looked it up. We just looked up on Wednesday on
out.
it was 70 million. So,
Okay, 70 million.
oh
I
no, wait, I
knew.
think it was 700 million. 700 million was the number.
Okay, maybe I was thinking there was only 4 million that were actually active.
It's
I
like,
don't know. Somewhere I keep getting that for, but I should have looked it up before our show. But the amount of people that are on there, and then the amount of even the amount of people that are actually active on there, like you're saying, some of those people are posting 1 to 10 times a day.
mhm.
So it's like you said, if you're using, certain hashtags and there's like 1 million followers on those hashtags, your stuff can get lost. But if you create that originality, if you do things differently than everyone else, if if you put yourself out there with your personality and even become a part of a community like we've done, where we've formed a community and it continues to grow, and so does our reach, even as individuals and as a group. And so yeah, I love it. That's why bottoms up works. I feel that's why Zero to Hero works, and why it's going to continue to grow both communities, is just because it's all about authenticity and being original. I can't be you. I wish I could DJ, and I wish I could have cool curly hair on the top of my head, but I don't. But I might have something different to offer, than you, and we each have a part to play and each have something to give. So as Sergio said, 706 plus million users.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a freaking lot. A
Yeah.
large, a
By the way,
large platform.
I many times wish I had straight hair because curly hair can be very difficult to manage. It can be very difficult to manage. So
Oh,
it's
really?
all
I
good.
think it's always that if you have straight hair, you want curly, and if you have curly hair, you want straight.
Right?
I don't know why that is. It's just the human psyche. It's like, oh man, I wish I had curly hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure it has its challenges too. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mine's kind of, so we just do what we can with it. Okay, so every superhero has a defining moment. So when we're talking about heroes here, what is yours when it comes to life and career? What is your defining moment?
I think my defining moment was having my daughter. I'll tell you that having my little girl changed me as a person. It gave me a much greater sense of purpose in the world, I should say. Um, and, you know, like the very first time I held her, it just kind of changed everything. And I realized, like, okay, I got to do things differently. So I would definitely say that was the defining moment in my life because, you know, everything I do now is to just make sure she's okay.
That's awesome. That is so sweet. And we've definitely seen that when the few times that we've gotten to meet her, she lights up when she's around you. You light up when you're around her. And I actually think that that is a great motivator. I think that that's what a lot of parents should and probably are thinking is, I do this for the one that I love, which is usually our children or our spouse or whoever is closest to us. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen in front of my eyes. So
Yeah.
going for the 1 billion. Oh, hello, John Brewer. It looks like Sergio said going for the 1 billion, Kevin Kwok.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn is continuing to grow its reach, that's for sure. And what do you think about all the stories? What have you gotten stories yet? LinkedIn stories?
I actually I don't know if I was an early person. I think I was like in the second wave because I've had stories for a few weeks now, and I think it's pretty cool because at the end of the day, it's just it's something that they probably needed to do to keep up with all the ever changing technology around them on social media. Because
Right.
outside of TikTok, everybody has a version of stories. So I think LinkedIn kind of recognized that, adapted to it. I think it's pretty cool. I only use it just to advertise my posts. I'm like, hey, I posted today. That's all I really use stories for. I,
No,
you
but
know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but some people are really good with it. Like some people I see will put up 6, 7, 8 stories a day, which God bless, they're really good at it because I don't know how they do it. But I see
Hey,
people
don't
doing it
feel
on
too.
Instagram. They do it on
Yeah.
here. I that's pretty creative. Kudos to
Hey,
everybody and shout out to
don't.
anybody putting out that many stories.
Yes, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say don't feel bad about that because I promise you a lot of those people probably replicate. So whatever they're going, oh, I want to share this, I want to share this, I want to share this, and they do like 7 stories on Instagram, and then they're like, oh, I need to go over here, I need to get on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to share it, share it, share it, and then they put those same 7 on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So don't be too dismayed because I think some people actually have it all planned out to where they share the same things across every platform. I know for me, I'm always looking at the different pictures on my phone. What can I share today? And I go back and forth between should I get more personal or should I do more businessy or can I mix them? So a lot of times I mix my personal, like, hey, what is this food? What would you guess that this is? And I'll take some strange Asian food that we eat and I go, what do you think it is? And I love hearing people's responses when they actually respond to the stories.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll also, like you said, post, hey, did you see this video that we just put out called Stand Out? It is amazing, and Kevin actually does some dance moves, which he will never do in front of me. And so I was like, yeah, that was awesome. So I wanted everybody to see that. Kevin's commenting here. He said, I think on the bottom of their database because I sign up when LinkedIn first started. I don't know exactly. I think he's talking about updates or he's always the last to get the updates. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Well, Kev's usually on top of it. At least Kev was one of the first ones to get live. That's how we started Bottoms Up. So that was cool.
Yes, but I got stories first, so I just want to brag about that. No, but yeah, so it is a pretty cool thing. I'll do a shout out here real quick to Kenneth Chan. He was actually talking about, he's also in our Bottoms Up Perspective group, and he was talking about stories in Singapore. So he wasn't sure if he was one of the first ones to get them or if it had rolled out completely. But that's pretty exciting to get on LinkedIn on your phone and all of a sudden see stories. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So back to heroes. What is Timothy's definition of the attributes of a hero? Like, how would you define a hero?
It's funny because I don't necessarily go by traditional heroic things, right? I think to me a hero is just somebody who is true to themselves and who takes care of the people around them. That to me is a hero. It doesn't have to be anything about bravery or would you traditionally see people defining superheroes as. I think it's just really you take care of the people around you and you're honest with everybody. That's cool. And honest with yourself first and foremost. Then I think to me that's the attributes of a hero. That's somebody that I look up to.
So that pretty much wraps up our show right there. Thank you very much so that was Timothy DeJesus. No, I'm just teasing. So basically that is, you actually defined what Zero to Hero really is. So J29 Creative Group, which Kevin and I own, is actually backing this live show. And we sat down one day and Kevin said, I really want to do a show called Zero to Hero. And I said, let's do it. And he said, I feel like that really in this time, whenever people are going through a war or different economic crises or hard times, that that we're looking for a hero. But he said, actually, the hero is inside each one of us. Hashtag stronger together, he said. So, we all have people. We have that originality and that love that pours out of us in different ways that we're involved in the community, or we just have people that we touch every day, whether it be playing a song on LinkedIn for them because they requested it, or smiling as you pass someone by, which is, by the way, very hard to do with a mask on, but I really try to make my eyes like shine that smile, when I have a mask on.
I get it.
But you know what I mean. Unless you get one of those little masks that have a clear, they can see you smiling. You got to really make your eyes shine. But I'm just saying we can all make a difference. Like, we all can bring hope into the world, even if it's just a small thing. And so you've pretty much, that defines what zero to hero actually means for us. So I love that. That's a great answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you guys, and I think that, people need to realize exactly what the show is all about, right? I mean,
Mhm.
you can be your own hero, you can be someone else's hero, but at the end of the day, you don't have to necessarily look up to other people. You gotta find the thing inside you that shines and let the world see that. And everybody's got it. Everybody's got something inside them that shines. They just maybe either don't know it or they're scared to show it to people because they're like, what would people think? And my mentality for a little while now is kind of like, whatever. If somebody's not gonna like it, anything you do, somebody's not gonna like it. So okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about the people who don't like it. I'm worried about the people that are like, hey, this actually made a difference in my day. Great. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So that's perfect.
Yeah, and you may not be able to resonate with everybody in the audience, but if you touch a few, you've already done an amazing work. You've touched a few lives, and I know that you do affect many people, especially here on LinkedIn. But I know, at least for your daughter, she looks at you like you're her hero. So that's huge. You don't know who she's going to grow up to be and who she's going to affect. And she needs you also probably her hero during this time. I mean, the pandemic is not easy on anybody, especially for our children who don't really understand it all. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, the pandemic is just challenging for everybody. And, I'll say this, and I mean this sincerely. Shout out to all the parents. I know you guys are dealing with it on your
Mm.
side. Shout out to all the parents that are homeschooling, because, man, that is tough. And shout out to all the teachers and educators out there, because they're also in a tough spot. So, I mean, really right now, everybody's in a tough spot. The virtual learning's not easy on
Mm.
even on the teachers. And, for the teachers that are in school, that's not easy either because, there's the chance of COVID being around. So, shout out to all the educators and parents out there during this difficult time. We're all hoping for, the old normal to come back, and things to be the way they were, at least from an educational perspective, for all the kids in grade school and high school, because it's tough out there.
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you so much for saying that, because we've been reading a lot of articles from people that we're connected with that work in the healthcare industry and seeing the news, hospitals full in our area and even in our small town where we came from. And, we do need to shout out to them. We need to thank God for those people, because it is very scary and it is very hard, and they see a lot of things that no one will ever witness. And for the children, just to, one day you can go to school, the next day someone, your teacher has COVID or something, and you have to go home and learn from home. It's just a constant transition, and you're constantly having to transition, and it's very hard for everybody involved. So definitely agree with you there. So if you had to pick a superhero that best relates to you, who would that be and why?
Well, that's a good question. I have no idea. Let me think about this.
That's fine. I'm going to fill it in with, this was my question that I was excited to ask. I was like, I can't wait till he comes on there and I can see, what is his answer going to be on this. So you can
Yeah,
take your time. We're not in a hurry.
if I had to choose somebody, I think it would. I'm trying to think, because I'm definitely not Batman. I'm not that skilled. uh, um, it's a good question. I'm kind of feeling like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is always in the shadows. Like, he's always kind of there.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to live outside of social media, which is so funny because on social media I'm very out there, but outside of social media I'm the exact opposite person. Like, I'm very low key and like, hey, I know what's going on, but I don't want to be involved. I just want to hear from earshot what's up.
Yes.
And
Kind of more of like, do you feel that you're more introverted or more like an ambivert where you like to put yourself out there, but not all the time? Or would you say?
the funniest thing, and I'll say this to the world, and this is legitimate, right? I'm doing what I'm doing now, so later on in life I can live in total obscurity, right? So, it's kind of a balance in life. So I'm really putting myself out there now, but when I'm 50, I don't want to be bothered. I want to be just at peace. And like, I'm sure, if you put yourself out there long enough, I'm sure people will see you. But at the end of the day, I'm putting myself out there now. So later on in life, I can just kind of travel the world and do my thing, and not have to worry about, working so hard and being just this presence at 50, 60 years old. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, to me, my goal has been, let me put in all the work now while I'm young and able and set a good example for my little one. But I'd like to set her up for, let me say, I'd like to set her up for success financially. And, this is the time to do it, not later in life. So, that's kind of how I live. So like I said, like, I would love to live in the shadows, but it's just not, it's not realistic not to have the goals that I have. And obviously, when you have a book coming out, you have to do promotion. So if you don't self promote, who's going to learn about it? You know what I mean?
Who's going to do it? Yeah. Nobody can promote like yourself, because it is you and the book is from you, which is something we're definitely going to talk about here toward the end of the show for sure. So remind me, don't let me forget that.
Nope.
But I think that those are wise words, and I think that that's what a lot of people are thinking is we work now so that we can relax later. My only question is that means probably that you're not going after like a famous DJ role then, right? You're not going to try to get into that. Because I don't know if people are going to let you off the hook if you get really good and they're used to it. And then all of a sudden at 50, you go, I'm done. Good luck. Find a new one on LinkedIn.
Well, I'll tell you this: the DJing, and this is something that I've talked about before, right? Things that you love, like I love to DJ. I actually love to DJ. So that's not work. Like, for anybody who follows me on TikTok, I mean, I probably do a couple lives every week, and I'll be on for 3 hours, and the time passes. I'm like, where the heck did that 3 hours go? My phone died. I was actually doing last night. My phone died, and it just, I didn't even know. Like, by the time I got off, I was like, dang, that was almost 4 hours I was on.
Oh my gosh.
But like, DJing to me is not work. Like, I could DJ for free and have the time of my life. So DJing is not work. So DJing into 50, that's fine, right? But like, doing physical work that maybe I don't enjoy.
Yes.
No, I don't want to be doing that at 67 years old and still having to post every day on social media, keep the name out there.
Right, exactly.
At that age. So
by that time, we'll probably have AI going pretty well, and you can just think a thought and
it'll
post it.
it'll pop up on the screen.
Yeah, I think they're working toward, fake brains, and they're working toward all kinds of things. So there's no telling by the time we're in our 60s or 70s. But yes, I do hear what you're saying, and it makes sense to me. And I think that Spider-Man is a really good example of what you're talking about, of kind of being in the shadows, but he's always there to do the job. He's there to get the job done. He doesn't need the fame or anything like that. He has those people that he loves, that he wants to protect, but he knows that he's been given a gift, and he wants to use that to protect and to better the world, even if he doesn't get any recognition for it, and I think that there's plenty of times where he wants to fall off of the what he's doing and just kind of hit the pause button and go and just be normal, but sometimes we just have to show up and be there until we get to the goal. We have to just do that. So as far as I know, there's no one else, and I don't want to keep harping on this, but I'm proud of you. There's no one else on LinkedIn doing DJing. So, that really does show originality and attract people to, hey, every Friday, he's going to be on LinkedIn doing this. And it's just a fun thing, but I think it really does bring a lot of hope to people and happiness during this moment. And so that's a hero in my book.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try to do it just because at the end of the day, for me, I believe everybody should enjoy their weekend. Even if you work during the weekend, you should enjoy. So,
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, I enjoy music. Music makes me happy. So if music makes me happy and it seems like it makes other people happy, I'm like, let me put it out there and, hopefully this brightens people's mood on a Friday going into the weekend and
Absolutely.
they can enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we love it. We love it, and we appreciate you. And Timothy, let's go ahead and why don't you tell everybody about your book, and then give them some. I want everybody to know how that they can follow you and support your journey on all these platforms. So tell them how they can get connected with you.
Sure. Well, start with the book. So the book is called The Business of Time. And the reason I wrote The Business of Time was because, I was working. I mean, if anybody watches Bottoms Up, I was in the car business for almost 20 years. And it was a heck of a journey, but I worked a ton. And I made a ton of money, but I just felt like I was kind of stuck in the sand. Like I was making good money by, you know, American standards, but I just didn't feel like I was going anywhere. And it was becoming a very frustrating exercise. And so I decided to write the Business of Time because in my mind, I started to explore completely other ways to earn income that didn't involve me having to work till from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So I started investigating that. I looked at the option of self-employment versus working for other people, and I did that for a long time. Like I said, I worked for other people for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I realized, like, okay, if I can replace my income, it's no different than working for other people. And so that's one of the concepts that I talk about in the book. But I wanted to share my knowledge because I've learned a lot over the last year. But even before that, there's a lot of fundamental lessons I learned about maximizing my value that helped me to work less than my peers and earn more than my peers. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's one of the main premises of the book as well is, how to maximize your personal value. So you can kind of choose to work as much or as little as you choose to. Because, when I was in a car business, for many dealerships, I would tell them, look, I'm not working Saturday. And that just wasn't a thing in the car business. In the car business, everybody works Saturday. But I would tell them, look, I'm sorry, like I'd rather not be in the car business than to work Saturday. And so they accepted
Right.
it because of what I brought to the table. But that's because I had maximized my personal value. And
Right.
so, you kind of get to call the shots a little bit when you work for other people when you have a good value and you can ask for higher wages and you can negotiate for higher wages because you have a high personal value and you're more valuable than your peers. So these are all things that are talked about in the book. And I talk about the fundamentals of maximizing your personal value, things that I learned along the way to help everyone increase their personal value and help them to earn more and hopefully work less and feel happy along the way.
I love that. That's awesome.
And as far as how they can get connected with me, so at this point, I'm on just about every social media channel. My main ones are LinkedIn and TikTok and YouTube at this point. So LinkedIn, it's my name, Timothy DeJesus. On TikTok, it's at Real Timothy DeJesus. YouTube, just search my name because I haven't gotten to 100 subscribers yet, so I don't get to choose my handle just yet. But just search my name; you'll find me on YouTube. And then I'm on Instagram at DJ Technicality, and on Facebook as well at my name, and on Twitter it's at Real Tim DeJesus. So
Perfect. So thank you so much for that. And you guys really do have to check it out because it will put a smile on your face. Just following his content and seeing such a great guy and very original and very authentic. And he puts out really good content, I know, here on LinkedIn. I don't pay much attention to Facebook, sorry,
I
but
don't put much
LinkedIn,
on Facebook. So I mean,
yeah,
like I said, the main three. If you really want to follow me, you go to LinkedIn first because that's where I'm at the most.
yes.
TikTok next, and YouTube. If you really want to follow me, because I mainly just repurpose content on Facebook. I put original content on Instagram, but I don't do much of it. But if you do want to get a glimpse into like me and my daughter, you can check out the Instagram. I post a lot of stuff about me and my little girl on Instagram.
That is perfect. Well, I will be finding you on Instagram then. We're already friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
We're on here, and he is on, he puts out his DJ video every
Right.
Friday. And so if you want to send a song request, just look up Tim DeJesus here on LinkedIn and connect with him, and you can send your song request for him. That he'll put that out on Fridays. So, hi, Mr. John Brewer, Albie. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And then, Tim, you said your book, just to finish off here, you said your book will be released this next week, like you'll actually get a physical copy, and then it'll be on Amazon. And tell us where all we can go to look for that.
Yep. So Amazon, you can find the book, The Business of Time. It releases on November 1st. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on Barnes and Noble, both in paperback and ebook format. And then also you can check out Biz of Time. So you can order it directly through my website as well. But there'll be more information about the book. And then, if you want to go somewhere to find where all of my handles are, you can go to the website bizoftime.com. And that'll have just about everything about the book. And really it'll talk about the YouTube, because the cool thing with the book, and I didn't mention this earlier, is that I'm actually putting on YouTube every chapter of the book, kind of the cliff notes of every chapter of the book on YouTube. It's going to be called Lessons from the Business of Time. And so you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that'll be coming out after the book is released. And it'll be every couple days to once a week, let's call it. I'll be releasing new chapters. But then once it's released on YouTube, it's there for eternity. So I did that because, listen, I know in today's world, so many people don't have the time to sit down and read a 100-page book. So instead of doing that, you can watch it at your leisure, at your convenience, and there'll be lessons from the business of time right on YouTube. The entire book from intro to ending will be chapters.
Okay, and is it you actually reading the book yourself, or like how? Okay.
It's cliff notes. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna give everybody the book for free. You gotta hey, all this.
Oh, you gotta buy. Yes. So
But
can you buy Audible copy where you're actually reading it, or have you gotten that far yet? Have you thought
haven't
about
gotten
that?
that far. I plan on doing that, but I wanted to get the actual physical book out first. But audiobook is something that I'm thinking about doing as well.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, the YouTube is a nice way to say, okay, you can check this out. You can learn a few things from the YouTube, but if you want the full experience, get the book, and read it at your leisure. But you want the full experience, get the book. But there'll still be lessons that bring value on YouTube from every chapter of the book.
Well, for those who like to highlight, and use all their different colors, we love having that copy of the book. So I'm all about it. I just wanted to make sure that they know kind of every option of what they can find. Some people like to listen to podcasts and things like that. So I enjoy listening to the book, but we want to make sure that we support you, that we get it out there, and I'm excited for you. So, Tim, thank you so much for being on here today. It's been great talking to you outside of Bottoms Up Perspective, and just learning a little bit more about you and what you value. So thank you so much for being a hero on my show today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be considered to be on Zero to Hero. And I think the concept of the show is awesome. So I wish you guys a lot of success with this, because I think it's a really cool idea. And I think that you guys are spot on. We all have a hero inside of us. We just got to pull it out. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And if you'll stay on with me after the show ends, I would love to chat with you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being on here to support Zero to Hero today. We really appreciate each and every one of you, and just your comments, and hashtag stronger together, hashtag 0 hero. We'll talk to you guys next week on episode 12. Thank you.
Yep. Shout out to everybody. Sergio, John, Albie, Georgie's. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for being there.
You guys are awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.